Came home and sat down in the usual chair. Didn't turn the lights on, didn't really care. Bag still on my shoulder for a minute or two. Just sat there in the dark the way I tend to do. The city outside kept doing what it does. I watched the ceiling fan go around because there wasn't anything I needed from the night. Just sat there, not quite wrong and not quite right. Still numb, not worse, just still numb. The quiet doing what it will, nothing breaking through the night, nothing asking me to feel. Still numb, but I'm here, that's real. Made some water, didn't make some tea. Stood in the kitchen, not quite being me. Or maybe this is me, the quieter version, the one that surfaces without coercion. Noticed how the window held the light from somewhere else, from someone else's night. Watched it for a while, then watched the floor. Not looking for anything, just looking more. I know this place, I've been here before. That space between the feeling and the feeling more. It isn't nothing even if it seems. It's just the quiet underneath the seams of something coming back. I can't say when, but still numb is not forever. Even if it feels like then. Still numb, not worse, just still numb. The quiet doing what it will, nothing breaking through the night, nothing asking me to feel. Still numb, but I'm here, that's real. Still numb, still here. Still numb, still clear. Enough to know that this will pass. Still numb, but here at last. Here at last. Same coat on the same hook by the door. Same 7 steps across the same old floor. Same coffee cooling while I find my keys. Same city waiting with its same disease of motion, of people going somewhere fast. I join them like I always do. I pass through the same turnstile, the same delayed train, the same commute in somebody else's lane. Same coat, same morning, same me going out again. Same coat, same silence, same not knowing where or when it changes, or if change is what it means. Same coat, same everything between. The coat has got a pocket on the left, where I keep whatever I have left of the day before. A receipt, a thought, something I was gonna do and not. There's comfort in the same, I think sometimes, in not having to choose from all the lines of possibility. The coat just knows that I'll reach for it, and on it goes. People think that numb means you stop caring, but caring is exhausting, and I've been wearing this particular kind of quiet for a while. It isn't giving up, it's managing the miles between where I was and where I'm trying to be. The coat just helps me get outside and see that the world is still going, I'm still in it. Same coat, new day that counts even a little bit. Same coat, same morning, same me going out again. Same coat, same silence, same not knowing where or when it changes, or if change is what it means. Same coat, same everything between. Same coat, still here. Same coat, still clear. Enough to go, enough to stay. Same coat, another day. Another day. Walking home and something in the air almost made me stop and stand right there. Couldn't name it, wasn't sure it was real. Just the edge of something starting to feel. A stranger's face lit briefly by a phone, reminded me of someone then was gone. And for a second something sharp and thin almost made it all the way back in. Something almost felt through the usual gray. Something almost felt, for a moment found its way. Not quite here, not quite gone, just the outline of a feeling on the edge. Something almost felt, holding on the ledge. There was music from an open window, something slow I must have heard before. It passed through me in a way that almost left a mark behind the usual door. I stopped walking for a half a step, then kept going like I always kept doing, moving, barely noticing, but something registered if barely registering. This is how it starts, not with something breaking open, not with light through all the parts, but with something almost spoken, almost felt is more than nothing, almost through is still a through. Something barely reaching surface is still reaching, still coming through. The ice doesn't melt all at once, it starts with one particular place where the warmth has been the longest, and slowly, barely it gives way. Something almost felt through the usual gray. Something almost felt, for a moment found its way. Not quite here, not quite gone, just the outline of a feeling on the edge. Something almost felt, holding on the ledge. Something almost felt, almost real. Something almost felt, starting to heal. Just the edge, just the start. Something almost almost heart. Almost heart. Sun came through the window at an angle, hit the back of my hand on the table, and I noticed it, which is something I haven't been doing. Noticing things, I mean, the way the light moves, the way it carries a particular weight of afternoon, of almost being okay. I left my hand there, let it keep being warm. Didn't move away the way I might have, stayed inside the small specific form. The edge of warm is where I've been living. The edge of warm, not cold, not quite giving into anything resembling feeling full. The edge of warm is still a pull. There's a version of this where I'm fine, where the sun on my hand is just the sun. But today it was something with an outline, something I could feel had just begun. A tiny recalibration of what my skin is able to receive. The warmth was asking nothing from me, just existing, just asking me to believe that temperature is real, that I'm still here to feel it, that the edge of warm is close enough to real. I think about how long I've been on the other side of the window, watching things be warm without the warmth getting in. And today the glass was thinner, or my hand was closer to the pain, and something just got through, just a little, just enough to name. Warm, that's what this is. Warm, at the very edge of it, still not all the way, but the edge is real today. Warm, I remember this. The edge of warm is where I've been living. The edge of warm, not cold, not quite giving into anything resembling feeling full. The edge of warm is still a pool. The edge of warm still here. The edge of warm getting near. Sun on hand, real today. The edge of warm finding its way, finding its way. Wash the dishes without being asked. Sent the message back I've been putting past the point of comfortable, but I did it anyway. Made some actual food today. Not a big deal, but I noticed it. The way you notice when the light gets lit in a room that's been dark a little while. I noticed and I let myself smile, just a small one, just enough to count, just the kind that doesn't need to shout. Small proof that I'm still here, small proof coming through the gray, small proof in the little things I did today. Not recovered, not arriving anywhere, small proof, but it's there, it's there. Opened up the window for some air. Noticed that the street had a particular there-ness that it hadn't had in recent weeks. The world came in through the part that leaks between where I've been and where the world is, and I let it, which is new. Stood there for a minute, breathing in the ordinary, the regular, the true. Little things that I forgot I could do. Little things coming back a few at a time. Little things building something new. Little proof that I'm still in the climb. Nobody gives a medal for replying to a text. Nobody marks it down somewhere that today you did your best with the energy you actually had, not the energy you wish for. That's the proof that matters most, the kind you don't need witness for. You did the small thing, you know what it cost. You did the small thing and nothing was lost. In fact, something was found, something quiet and round and true. Small proof it was you. Small proof, small proof, small proof, small proof, small proof, small proof, small proof that I'm still here. Small proof coming through the gray. Small proof in the little things I did today. Not recovered, not arriving anywhere. Small proof, but it's there, it's there. Small proof still counts, small proof still amounts to something real today. Small proof finding its way, finding its way. Walk past the bakery on my usual street, and for the first time in a while I thought about the smell, about what I might eat, not because I should, but because I want. That's new or not new, just return. The way a word comes back that you thought you'd lost, the way a light comes on before you count the cost of being hungry for a thing again, of caring what the morning smells like then. Appetite coming back slow, appetite starting to show in the way I stopped outside a window, in the way I thought about the bread. Appetite, a signal from inside my head that something's coming back from where it fled. Ordered something I actually chose, not just the first thing, not just whatever goes down without asking too much of my tongue. Something I wanted, something that belonged to a version of me that had preferences, that could tell the difference between this particular thing and something else that's a small thing but it means I'm coming back. Bit by bit, taste by taste, I'm coming back. No particular pace, just appetite returning to its place. The body knows before the mind does when it's ready to receive again. The stomach sends a message upward that the worst of it has been. Not over, but the volume turned down enough for want to find the room to exist again beside the other things. Enough for appetite to bloom, small and certain, like a seed before a shoot. The wanting of a particular thing is evidence of root. Still alive, still reaching for the sun, still knowing what tastes good, still wanting some, still wanting some. Appetite coming back slow, appetite starting to show in the way I stopped outside a window, in the way I thought about the bread. Appetite, a signal from inside my head that something's coming back from where it fled. Appetite still small, appetite but real, just the wanting of a thing. Appetite starting to feel, starting to feel.
One more block, that's the only plan I have tonight. One more block, the street is long but it's alright. I don't need a reason to keep moving, I don't need to know where this is going. One more block, past the corner where I used to stop, used to buy a drink and let the hours drop into something that felt less like walking, less like holding all this quiet thinking. Kept on going. One more block, there's a particular kind of moving but doesn't ask you how you're doing, doesn't wait for you to answer, just puts one foot after the other, then another. One more block, the city doesn't know I'm in it. Every window lit by someone in it, living a particular. I'm just passing through the familiar, unfamiliar. One more block, maybe this is what it looks like. Not recovered, just in motion. Not arrived, just moving toward it. Whatever it is, whatever it costs, not lost. One more block, one more block, one more block, one more all I had. One more block wasn't bad. One more block.
I don't know when it happened, I don't know which day, but somewhere between then and now I found my way. Not to somewhere better, just to somewhere which turns out is enough. There was a version of this year where I couldn't find the floor, where I reached for something solid and there wasn't any more. The mornings lasted longer than they should, the evenings came too fast. I kept thinking this particular way was built to last. Kept thinking I was further back than I actually was. Kept measuring the distance wrong, the way that losing does to your sense of where you are, to your sense of pace. I thought I was still standing still, turns out I changed. Can't name the day I started moving differently. Can't point to a moment and say that set me free. It wasn't one thing, wasn't a revelation, just a slow accumulation of ordinary navigation. One day I ate something because I wanted to. One day I laughed at something that turned out to be true. One day I answered when I didn't have to speak, and something that had been locked came loose that week. Now I'm standing here and the weight is still there, but it's a different weight, the kind the body learns to wear without disappearing under it, without forgetting how to breathe. The kind you carry forward, not the kind that makes you leave. I look back at the distance I cover without knowing, and I think I was already going, I was already going, already there. Didn't know it at the time, already there. Moving past the line that I thought was so far ahead, already there, without knowing where I'd been led. Already there, already further than I said. Somewhere between then and now, I found my way. Didn't know it while it happened, but I'm here today. Already there, 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 already there. Still some days I wake up heavy, Still some days the wait is there. Still some mornings take forever. Still some rooms feel like no air. But I made it through last Tuesday. But I laughed at something small. But I called someone I'd been avoiding. But I didn't hide it all. Still not easy being in it. Still not sure how long it takes. Still the quiet has a texture. Still some silence still aches. But I noticed when it lifted. But I felt it even brief. But I stood inside the sunlight. But I let myself feel relief. Still some days, but some days still the weight. But the lightness still not over, but not under. Still the same, but something different. I don't want to call it better. Better feels too far away. I don't want to claim arrival when I'm somewhere in the gray. You don't have to call it better. You don't have to name the place. You just have to let them both be. You just have to hold the space. For the still and for the but. For the heavy and the light. For the not yet and the almost. For the gray that holds the white. Both true, both true. The hard and the okay. Both true, both true. The same and the changed. Both true.
Not quite better, not quite lost. Just somewhere in between the two. The cost of being here is just being here, which is something I forgot I could do. Not quite mended, not quite whole, but something in the air tonight feels less like falling, more like knowing how to stay inside the light. I made some tea, I left the window cracked. The city did its thing, I didn't have to react. And that was enough, just that. The tea, the window, the sound of the street. Being here without having to earn it. Just breathing in the rhythm of my own heartbeat. The night I've been in was longer than most, but I'm not angry at it anymore. It was doing what nights do, holding you still until you don't need holding quite so much as. 'Cause before, 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 'cause b
not quite better, not quite lost, just here, just this, just tonight becoming morning, without asking what it costs.